Stop throwing money away in your kitchen. What if I told you that our grandparents and great-grandparents knew cooking secrets that could slash your grocery bill by hundreds every month? In tough times, they mastered techniques that stretched every ingredient to its limit. These aren't complicated chef hacks. They're simple, practical methods that have been forgotten in our age of convenience. Get ready, because these 25 forgotten cooking tricks will transform how you shop, cook, and save. Create your own flavor base. Have you ever noticed how the same vegetables seem to show up in almost every recipe? Onions, carrots, celery, what professional chefs call mirepoix. This simple combination forms the foundation of countless dishes, but here's what most people miss. You can prepare this mixture in bulk and freeze it, saving both money and precious weeknight time. According to a study by the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, preparing base ingredients in advance can reduce weeknight cooking time by up to 30%. Which means less reliance on expensive takeout when you're tired. Simply dice equal parts onion, carrot, and celery, sauté until translucent, and freeze in ice cube trays or small containers. Next time you make soup, stew, or sauce, you'll have instant flavor ready to go. What makes this technique special is that it works with any vegetables approaching their expiration date. That slightly soft onion or bendy carrot still has plenty of flavor to offer when cooked down into a base. According to the USDA, Americans throw away approximately 30 to 40% of their food supply, which equals about $1,500 per year for an average family of 4. Creating flavor bases is a first step to changing that statistic in your home. Master the art of properly storing herbs. Fresh herbs can transform an ordinary meal into something special, but they're expensive and notoriously quick to spoil. Most people store herbs wrong, then throw away slimy, blackened remains days later. But there's a simple method that can extend their life by weeks. Treat woody herbs like rosemary, thyme, and sage as you would flowers. Trim the stems and place them in a glass with about an inch of water. Cover loosely with a plastic bag and refrigerate. For tender herbs like cilantro, parsley, and basil, wrap them gently in a damp paper towel, place in a resealable bag with a few pinpricks for airflow, and store in the refrigerator. According to food scientist Harold McGee, proper herb storage can extend freshness from a few days to 2 weeks or more. That's the difference between using one sprig and enjoying the entire bunch you paid for. The Food Network estimates this technique alone can save herb lovers up to $15–20 per month. And for any herbs that still threaten to turn, there's always herb-infused oils or compound butters that will preserve their flavor for months in the freezer. Revive the practice of regrowing vegetables. Your grandparents likely knew that many vegetables can regrow from scraps, essentially providing free food. This practice has been largely abandoned, but it can significantly reduce your produce expenses with minimal effort. Green onions are the easiest. Simply place the white root ends in a glass of water and you'll have new growth within days. Celery, romaine lettuce, and bok choy bases will regrow when placed in shallow water. Garlic, cloves, ginger, and potatoes that have sprouted can be planted to produce new crops. According to gardening expert Roger Doiron, founder of Kitchen Gardeners International, a family can save up to $600 annually by regrowing vegetables from kitchen scraps, even with limited space. Studies from the National Gardening Association show that households participating in food growing save an average of $530 on groceries annually, with scrap regrowing being the easiest entry point. Rediscover proper freezing techniques. Most people underutilize their freezers, missing opportunities to save money through bulk purchases and preservation of seasonal foods. The secret isn't just freezing, it's freezing properly to maintain quality. Blanching vegetables before freezing preserves their texture, color, and nutrients. Flash freezing berries and other fruits on a baking sheet before bagging prevents them from clumping together. Removing air from storage containers and bags helps prevent freezer burn, extending storage life from weeks to months. Research from the University of Georgia Food Science Department indicates that proper freezing techniques can maintain food quality for 8 to 12 months, compared to just 1 to 3 months when done improperly. The American Frozen Food Institute reports that households utilizing proper freezing techniques can save between $1,500 and $3,000 annually. Master the use of every part of vegetables. Modern cooking often discards portions of vegetables that traditional cooks knew how to use: carrot tops, broccoli stems, beet greens, celery leaves, and more. These scraps often contain more nutrients than the parts we commonly eat and can add unique flavors to dishes. Carrot tops make excellent pesto or chimichurri sauce. Broccoli stems can be peeled and used in stir-fries or slaws. Beet greens are nutritional powerhouses that cook similarly to spinach. Even watermelon rinds can be pickled for a traditional Southern delicacy. Food waste researchers at the University of Arizona found that the average household discards approximately 14% of purchased food in the form of trimmings and prep waste. Learning to use these parts can effectively increase your food purchasing power by a corresponding amount, an average annual value of $600 to $800 for a family of 4. Embrace the economy of whole animal cooking. The shift toward buying only choice cuts of meat is relatively recent in human history. Traditional cooking embraced whole animal usage, with offal, organ meats, and unusual cuts often featuring in classic recipes. These forgotten cuts typically cost a fraction of popular cuts while offering excellent nutrition and flavor when properly prepared. Beef heart makes exceptional stew meat. Chicken livers can be transformed into luxurious pâté. Beef tongue, properly braised, is tender and flavorful. Even bones, which many butchers give away for free, provide marrow for roasting and the foundation for rich stocks. The American Meat Science Association notes that demand-based pricing creates substantial price disparities between cuts from the same animal. Culinary economists estimate that households willing to explore traditional meat preparations can reduce animal protein costs by 30 to 50%, representing $600 to $1,000 annually for many families. Perfect, the technique of proper meal planning. While not a cooking technique in the strict sense, strategic meal planning was fundamental to traditional kitchen economy. Modern adaptations focus on creating interconnected meals where ingredients and preparations from one meal reduce work for subsequent ones. Start by roasting a chicken with extra vegetables. Use some of the meat and vegetables for the next day's grain bowls. Reserve some meat for sandwiches or salads. Use the carcass and remaining vegetable scraps for stock, which becomes the base for soup later in the week. Studies by meal planning. Services indicate that strategic planning reduces food waste by 60–70% and grocery expenditures by 25–30% compared to impromptu meal decisions. For the average American family spending $1,000 monthly on groceries, this represents potential savings of $3,000 to $3,600 annually. Master the art of kitchen scrap gardening. Beyond regrowing vegetables from scraps, many kitchen byproducts can enhance a garden and reduce the need for purchased fertilizers and soil amendments. Coffee grounds, eggshells, banana peels, and vegetable scraps can all be composted or used directly in specific applications. Crushed eggshells add calcium to soil and deter slugs. Coffee grounds improve soil structure and add nitrogen. Even the water from boiling eggs or vegetables contains minerals that houseplants love when cooled and used for watering. Studies by the Organic Consumers Association show that repurposing kitchen waste for gardening can reduce fertilizer costs by 80–90% for home gardeners. The National Gardening Association estimates these practices save the average gardening household approximately $75,100 annually on soil amendments and fertilizers, while improving garden productivity. Rediscover the versatility of flour. Today, many kitchens contain multiple specialized flours for different purposes, but traditional cooks knew how to make all-purpose flour work for everything from delicate pastries to hearty breads by adjusting techniques rather than ingredients. By varying the amount of fat, liquid, mixing method, and cooking temperature, the same basic flour can produce dramatically different results. Understanding these principles reduces the need for expensive specialty flours that often go unused. Baking experts at King Arthur Flour confirm that technique is more important than specialized flour for most home baking. Market research indicates that the average baking household spends $30–50 annually on specialty flours, much of which could be saved through better understanding of basic flour principles and techniques. Learn to cook confidently without recipes. Perhaps the most valuable forgotten skill is the ability to cook without strict recipes, using basic techniques and an understanding of flavor principles to create meals from whatever ingredients are available or affordable. Understanding fundamental techniques like roasting, braising, sautéing, and steaming creates a framework for countless variations. Knowing which herbs and spices complement different ingredients allows for creative substitutions based on availability and price. Culinary educators at the Stone Barns Center for Food and Agriculture emphasize that recipe-free cooking was the norm throughout human history and remains the most economical approach. Financial analysts estimate that flexibility in ingredients based on sales and seasonality can reduce grocery bills by 15–20%, while reducing waste from purchased but unused specialty ingredients. These forgotten cooking techniques represent more than just ways to save money. They're connections to a more resourceful and less wasteful approach to feeding ourselves and our families. By reviving these practices, we not only stretch our food budgets, but also rediscover the creativity and craft that made cooking a source of pride and satisfaction for generations before us. Did you find these money-saving kitchen hacks helpful? Let us know your favorite forgotten cooking trick in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more practical tips that help you save money while eating better than ever.